Here I go again. It's just constant comedy. I'm telling you. Let me become more beautiful here and give you their names. This couple, and they seem like a nice couple. How do I know what they do when the door shuts in the bedroom? I don't. Aaron Sheraton and Emily Sheraton. I think I spelled it Sharian. They are Mormons. And I don't know how stupid, I've said this over and over, the Mormon church thinks the general public is. They produce things for themselves. The rest of us don't give a rat's ass who's a Mormon. As long as they're not knocking on our door and trying to get 10% of our income, let them be Mormons. Why tell us? You know, it's like me putting my children and wife on the video. This is my children and my wife, and we're atheists. So who gives a rat's ass? Anyway, this young couple, and they're pretty young. They have a 7-year-old, so they must have been married 8 years, because I know the Mormons. They're pregnant within 8.5 months, sometimes sooner after marriage. She's working. Now, here's what's just hilarious. I've been in the Mormon church, like I've told so many people so many times, almost, 50 years, a half a century. And I've been out 5-7 years, right in there. And when I was in the Mormon church, back in the 70s, the 80s, and part of the 90s, if a woman went to work and had her own money and had independence, the church made fun of her. She's not an at-home mom. She's not with her children. And the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. I mean, we had such discrimination against women that they're to stay pregnant, barefoot, and in the kitchen. What a life for women. Well, the Mormon church continued to hammer the window, and they continued to say the man is responsible for supporting the family. The woman stays home. She's an at-home mom, and she raises the little Mormons to pay tithing. So that's evolved. I haven't heard that in 10, 15 years in the doctrines and policies and procedures of the Mormon church. This is that underground church that I've told you about. There's not much in writing, but there's a lot that the Mormons speak to each other, and the doctrines and policies and procedures are known well by those of us that have been Mormons. Now here's, and again, this is just speculation. You may say, he's full of crap. And you know what? There's less and less people that say that. I've had 3 Mormons on this month, and I've published their names. You can see them on the video. Not one of them has written back. And I've gotten a note from one of my comment people that he can't get on the video of one of them, that the YouTube seems to have been shut down. I don't know if his bishop did that or if he did that before the bishop found out who he was. But anyway, women and working. Now here's my speculation, that they didn't want women working in the church. So if the man made $30,000 a year, he paid $3,000 in tithing. And this little family has 3 kids, a brand new baby, a 7-year-old, and a 4-year-old. So, you know, they're spreading their pregnancies more than most Mormons. But the church only got $3,000 in tithing. Well, they saw the women going to work. And some of them were making, well, in those days, $20,000. These days, it's better. Say they're making $30,000 now. Well, now how much does the Mormon church get in tithing? Not 10% from this family. They have doubled their tithing. It's not $3,000 anymore. It's $6,000. Now, Jesus came down. I can't even say it with a straight face. And he talked to Kimball and the Hinkster. I love that name for Hinckley. He's such a liar, a thief, and a cheat. But a lot of Mormons like him, and that's fine. I'm going to send him a new salamander letter in his grave and see if he'll jump up in the resurrection and pay another $1 million for a worthless document. But when the church started to see double income, suddenly the values of the family kind of did this, like the thumbs on my... I don't get these much anymore. You know, I used to have Mormons that spammed me. Well, YouTube is so tired of investigating me that they just if it's a Mormon, they spam him, he's fine. And the little hands going down, I don't get much of those anymore at all. And my ratio is 5 to 1, people who agree with me, and 1 to the ratio that the Mormons disagree with me. But they get Jesus points for that, so I can't blame them for trying to get Jesus points. So when the church saw this extra money, I don't mean just a 10% or 20% increase. It's 100%. Where can you put your money in the bank and get 100% return? Only in the Ponzi schemes of the state of Utah and the Mormon church. Other than that, well, you can't. So all of these guys gathered around who are prophets, seers, and revelators. They have no prophecies. I haven't seen one in 50 years. Seers, I don't know what a seer is, if that means, you know, they can, I don't know, see angels or whatever. And a revelator, so that God will speak to them. Well, they all gathered around one day, and in the Salt Lake Temple, Jesus showed up, and he goes, hey, you know, I'm thinking of building a mall. I own the entire universe and everything in it, all the gold and all that, and all you people. But you know what? I don't have a mall. Hinkster, revelation, build the Jesus mall. Hinkster goes, yes, sir. And so the guy sat around and go, well, gee, you know, we don't have $5 billion in reserves. And the Hinkster said, I'm sure it was the Hinkster, it might have been Monson, because it was the tie-up between the Hinkster and Monson, that you're not a church anymore. You're not called the Mormon Church. They changed your name, perhaps to protect the guilty or the innocent. I'm sorry, you're too old for too young for Dragnet. Well, they changed it to the president of the corporation of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So all you Mormons who are watching, there's no such thing as the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It is the president of the corporation. Okay, so you're a corporate entity. You're not a church. Hey, look it up on the internet. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Pale ale. Oh God, hear the words of my mouth. Well, hey, video people, hear the words of my mouth. You're not a church. You are a president of the corporation. Well, when Jesus said, you know, I know you guys don't have enough money for the mall, but what I want you to do is lay off the women. Criminy, let them go to work. That doubles your tithing. And the Hinkster and Monson goes, hey. And then they said to Jesus, well, you know, can we up our daily allowance and our subsidy and our expenses? And Jesus goes, yeah, do it. Take it up, whatever, 15, 20, 30,000. You guys are doing a good job. Well, that's my opinion of what happened to women staying home in the Mormon Church. Now, when you look at these videos, I mean, look at my video. I mean, I have props, okay? I don't want to look like Sean on his Heart of the Matter, but, you know, he's changed. He puts beards on himself, strange clothes. That's okay. Okay, so there's all of my props all together. $1 for this. The sunglasses were at a garage sale with the hat. Okay. They want that money. They want that women's income. So when you see the videos, you see a very, very nice production. You see beautiful scenery. Look at my scenery. Now, this isn't my bedroom. This is a movie set. Okay, this is how they said, you know, David, you'll get more people to look at you, which I don't give a shit. I don't care if any of you look at me. I'm just trying to do some therapy here for me. But when you see these I am a Mormon, you see these zoom lenses in, you see them out. You see a camera from one angle, then another angle. So you know damn well there's a production crew there. You know, I lived in California. I've seen movies made. I've been to Universal Studios a couple times. To make this kind of a video, you've got to have a boom mic. You've got to have 2 or 3 cameramans. You have to have a director. You have to have a producer. You have to have a boom microphone hanging up for, and then you have to have an editor. Then you have makeup, and then you have the background scene, and then you have a script. Now, this is not normal Mormon people. I'm sorry, folks. Now, she's sweet, and you know what? I think the people are sincere. I'm starting to feel more and more pity because these young people have not seen the damage yet that this church will do to their family and to their children. Now, Aaron, well, you know, again, I don't want to be critical. I don't want to be critical. He says this. Now, I have found that self-evaluation with Mormons is more dangerous than self-evaluations with normal people. Okay, Aaron says that he speaks, well, his wife said he speaks French, Italian, Spanish, and Armenian. Now, he obviously went on a mission or 4 missions, or he has, you know, descent from Italian or whatever. And so he speaks those 4 languages. Fluently, they didn't say that. They just said he speaks 4 languages, and he works, you can look at it, his job. Anyway, he says he's a communicator. You know what? When you have a professional movie crew come in and present you with the right angles and the makeup and the sunlight and the lighting in the background, and whether that's your house or not, it could be a house right on the Universal Studios, you don't know. He's a communicator, and then Emily said that she's a storyteller. I think they're both storytellers. At least Emily's honest. At least Emily's honest. She's telling a story that she's a happy Mormon. And then Aaron again, he's saying he's a citizen of the world. I think he's a citizen of his ward and his state. I think they live in Washington, D.C. And they both have evaluated themselves as outstanding people and showing their kids and eating out. I'm telling you, folks, this is a professional movie production. What church? And I told you, it's not a church. It's the president of the corporation. The Mormon Church is incorporated. It's not a church. It's a 501(c) nonprofit corporation. And Monson and Hinckley did this before Hinckley died, and they were like this their whole life with Hinckley on top. So if you want to belong to a church, you can't be a Mormon. They're a corporation. And these videos that I'm a Mormon, I don't know what church in its right mind does this kind of PR work. You know what? I know what kind of prophets and non-profits do to bring in money and to advertise themselves and to buy public relation firms. They're corporations. No church will say, you know, and I'm a Seventh-day Adventist and I'm a Jehovah's Witness. And the Mormon Church are not picking representative people. You go to any ward house, and please do. I'm going to advertise here for the Mormon Church because I don't hate them. There is no enemy. All there is common sense. When ordinary people go to a Mormon church and look around, and they see the people, and the people come up and shake their hands, and, oh, we're glad to have you, they're saying, we need your tithing. And when you go home, you know, they're number 1 in prescription drugs, they're number 1 or 3 in abuse, they're number 1 in bankruptcy in the world. It goes on. I used to have it memorized, but the list has grown so long, I can't even tell you how miserable the lifestyle is here in Utah. So I give them lots of advertising. Mormon.org, Mormon.org, Mormon.org. Go look at the Mormons. And they'll say, if you don't agree with them, they'll say, there's a misunderstanding. We are not represented properly, and people believe things about us that are not true. That's how a Mormon is trained in the right side of their brain. There's no common sense side to the Mormons. There's no misunderstandings. Normal people go marrying 14-year-olds, cutting the heads off of blacks, Brigham Young, for being black, discriminating against gays and women. Oh my gosh, the women now are equal because the tithing rolls in. So, well, hey, you believe in Jesus and you believe in Jesus appearing to Monson and Hinckley, the Hinkster, and making you into a corporation? Live it. Live it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're not happy and you know it, you know what to do. I'm not going to encourage anyone to leave the Mormon Church. I left because I finally said to my stake president, the blessings that were promised to me, I haven't got. I haven't had the windows of heaven open up. It appears that the windows of heaven that open up is the church office building windows in Salt Lake City. They're the ones that get the tithing. They're the ones that don't have to work. They're the ones that pay no taxes. They're the ones that are exempt from tithing, and they're hammering the shit out of me and my family. Sorry, homie, don't play that.